What up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. Man, what is going on, everyone? I hope everyone's staying well, staying healthy, staying away from the Rona.
Being smart.
Staying away from the Rona.
Exactly, being smart, staying in your house.
Staying away from the Rona.
Yes, I understood.
Staying away from Miss Rona. Man, what is going on, everyone? I'm Shadell, co-host of PagingTheSimpsons. I am joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren.
Man, does it feel weird to still be talking to you after, like, what is it? It's been a whole week stuck in the house.
Yep.
I'm bored of you. I'm tired of you.
Same.
At this point, I don't
Your
even think
face.
I don't think the dog likes us. She just walks away. She's like,
oh my gosh,
get out of here, guys.
No, like multiple times a day. Okay, so she has this little playpen in our bedroom, and then she has a dog bed in there. Okay, and multiple times a day she'll just like go in there and she'll just chill in there, like, and she'll just leave without notice. She'll just go real quiet, and like we're like, where is she? And she's just in there because she's like, I just need alone time. Okay, like this was cool the first couple days because my fave was home, aka you.
Yeah.
But then it's like, now she's like, all right, you guys, like, you really not leaving, are you?
Yeah.
Like,
and
ever?
Watch, when things go back to normal, she's gonna be like, oh, where you going? I thought we were having to stay in.
No, I literally tweeted the other day. I was like, I just thought of this and it makes me really sad how, think of all the dogs that are going to have separation anxiety when everything goes back to normal. Because now they're so used to everybody being home all the time, and then they're going to be like, no.
Missy. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Turn your head back.
Be grateful.
Uh-huh. She's like, what is people talking about?
She's like, there they go again. They won't leave me alone.
We just finished wrapping up a podcast with Angelica from A Little Bit of Everything. That should be up down the road when it comes out. We'll let you guys know.
Woohoo, that was fun.
I say that because, Missy was in here just chilling. We locked the door on her as we were recording. And then as soon as we opened the door, she's like, okay, I'm going to leave
bye.
now. Like, an hour with you guys is cool,
That's
but
enough.
I need my own space.
Yeah.
I'm like,
my gosh.
Okay. Oh, man.
Spoiled dog.
So, guys, as much as we try to stop talking about the Rona, sadly, we got to talk about the Rona. And I'm not trying to talk about it in like a negative way of deaths and people sick and all that stuff. Well, I guess this is negative in a sense. But I wanted to just talk about this because I didn't really realize it. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize this, which is there's a lot of small businesses in the U.S. at least. I'm sure in like Canada, Mexico, like there's, small businesses and stuff like that. Oh, well, of course there are. What am I saying? Mm-hmm. But like you don't really realize this. Like I can go out right now and like on our street and I'm sure I could pass, a couple small businesses. I mean, literally there's 5 on the block. Mm-hmm. Like it's pretty crazy. You don't realize how many people are affected. And we went out, we had to take our dog Missy out to get groomed the other day. And, like, I felt like there was a little less traffic than normal. Even pulling into the lot where she gets groomed at, like, all the businesses there are closed. Mm-hmm. Even our groomer had to close. And, like, it's crazy seeing how, like, an event like this is literally impacting everyone to where, like, we were just talking to Angelica. And, like, man, to know, like, someone in Canada is affected by this. And then, like, my friends in Kansas are affected by this. And my friend in Florida is affected by this. And, like, just, it's weird. Because, like, I've said it to you, I'm off mic, I'm like, normally it's like a snowstorm we have, or someone has a tornado, or an earthquake somewhere, and you're like, you go about your day because it's not impacting you.
Right.
This is impacting everyone, and it's just wild. It's like, everyone's going through the same thing. And I feel like that's never happened, because I don't think we were around for, like, SARS and West Nile.
Well,
like,
technically we were around, but we were kids.
I don't recall it ever being this dramatic. Well, not dramatic, just put it down. But.
Well, yeah, I don't think it was, to be honest. But also, yeah, it was different times and we were children, so we didn't really understand the impact of it either. Because I'm pretty sure SARS was around 2003, in which we were 10.
Yeah, I would remember something like this if it was just like, Mom was telling me, no, you can't go out.
Well, yeah, again, I don't think it was to this extent.
Because we nipped it in the butt. I don't even get into that. No, I'm going to get into that one right there. But yeah, I want to talk about small businesses. And we'll start with you if you want to do that. You fine with it?
Yeah, I'll just get my tissues ready to cry.
I mean, you have them right there. It's an arm's reach. And it's like, yeah, it got real. So, I guess, how do you want to talk about the measures that you had to take, like leading up to like where you are today? I guess. As in now the Rona is here. It's impacted your business. What have you had to change because of the Rona?
I mean, pretty much everything. So
I know you went through the issues of like rebooking people.
Yeah. So everything kind of escalated pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. There was a time where like within a matter of a week, every day something would change how I had to go about things because, you know, at first it was limiting events of this size and then it got dramatically smaller. And then, you know, then we get emails from the Department of Health strongly urging that we close. And once I got that email, I said by the end of this week, it's going to be mandated that all of us are closed, like salons, tattoo shops, barber shops, all that kind of stuff, massage therapists. And I was right. And by the end of the week, everyone in those fields had to be absolutely closed across the state. And so I chose to close basically the next day after I got the email. I mean, it was already going to be a light couple of weeks appointment wise, which usually I'm not really worried about because the way my business has grown, I'll pick up more appointments as those couple weeks go on. And so like it would fill up. But I guess luckily enough, it was already pretty light. So I only had a few people to reschedule that were within the couple weeks, like the last couple weeks of March, who had like trials and makeup lesson and stuff like that. But the biggest part was the weddings because this is happening right as we go into bridal season. Yeah. It's like terrible timing. And so I had one wedding at the end of March that absolutely had to be rescheduled because it's within this like 2-week quarantine kind of time frame anyway. And then I had an April 11th wedding that also had to be rescheduled, and that is now moved to September. And then May weddings, which is when it really, really picks up. Most of them are rescheduled or in the process of being rescheduled. A couple of them are holding out. So I have a couple weddings. I have May 2nd and May 8th, and they're not rescheduling at this point. And because I guess venues have been told that they can't do weddings through April 30th. So they're holding out the hope, but that by then they'll be like the first few weddings back. And I truly hope that for them. But it's a little nerve-wracking because obviously I also want to stay healthy in this because who knows who's going to be sick within that amount of time. And yeah, I just want it to play out well. So we will see how that goes. But most of May has also been rescheduled. I've had June people reach out to me that they're nervous, but I've told them, hey, like have a backup plan, but don't pull the trigger yet because it's still a little early to predict that. And then I've had people as far as November have reached out to me and been like, hey, and I'm like, listen, we're still going to proceed business as normal right now. It's so far off. I mean, that's over 6 months away. There is absolutely no telling what it's going to be like then. I have people rescheduling into November. Like, so, I mean, look at it that way. People are looking at November as a more safe option. So, you know, I wouldn't reschedule someone in November at this point. But I did tell her, I'm like, rest assured, if it comes to that, hey, at this point, I have plenty of availability in the off season and into next year. So, that's kind of how it's working. It took me all week to work on one specific wedding because she rescheduled from May 16th to October 10th, which October 10th is the most popular date of the year because it's 10/10/2020. And I already had several weddings on there booked. So I was already in the process of hiring more people anyway, but I kind of had to hustle on that and make sure I'm getting the right people. And then I had to coordinate between people and who does both hair and makeup. And like, it's this whole logistical kind of nightmare. But I was so happy because by the end of the week, I was able to call her and give her some good news, because some of her vendors are not able to do the same thing. You know, that's the tricky part for these brides is if you reschedule to a date that is especially popular, or you're not open to like a Thursday or a December wedding or like anything like that, you do risk the chance of losing some of your vendors that you work so hard to book. So I was really ecstatic that I could make that work for her. So it's just been a lot of back and forth, a lot of comforting worried brides, a lot of comforting myself, in, you know, the worry of all this going on. I kind of made soft announcements a little while ago that in the coming months, I have a couple of very exciting things that were happening, and some of this stuff has been put on halt, basically. The timeline is a little different now, and it's kind of up in the air as to when these things are officially going to be announced and in motion. And that's the kind of thing that really stinks is 2020 was honestly looking like my best year yet, like business-wise. Honestly, everything, personal, everything. It was all good. But especially business-wise. And then it all halted all of a sudden. It just kind of went crashing down. And so, obviously I'm closed right now. I'm not taking any new clients at the time. I don't know when we're going to be reopened. The hope is that we can reopen April 1st or somewhere around there. But nobody really knows when it comes to my industry. I don't think anybody knows at all right now.
Everyone's just playing it.
But my industry is especially worrisome because we are in your face. We do not have 6-foot distance between us. Even hairdressers, even though they're in the back of your head, they're still close to you. Like it's just a difficult business for this particular kind of outbreak. So that's kind of the worry. Is I don't know, like with a restaurant, I guess, yeah, you could like deliver the food through a window or something versus like us, we have like no way around doing it. So there's that. And so I'm really hoping that things continue to progress upward after this little bump for the year, just because I do have some really big things happening this year, and I still think they'll happen. It's just a matter of when and how. And what else? Just the wedding industry as a whole is really hurting right now. So it's not even just the beauty part of it, but it's everybody. Obviously, like planners, photographers, videographers, venues, like all of them. Everybody's is struggling right now to try and accommodate our brides with reschedules and hopefully not get cancellations, because that's a very real possibility too. I've talked to a couple brides that they may just cancel outright because they're frustrated and they don't want to replan everything. And they're just like, I put so much time and money into this. I had one bride who was talking to me and she's like, I don't really want to go into next year because I was planning to try and get pregnant later this year. So like, this is kind of putting that on halt. And like, so it's just a whole mess, but we're hoping not to get cancellations because obviously that hurts us even more. Like the reschedule hurts right now because obviously we were expecting those final payments within March, April, May. But at least if you reschedule, we'll still get those final payments later in the year. So maybe we'll see like a real influx in income later in the year and it'll start to even out a little bit. But if you get a straight up cancellation, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I'm not the type to be like, okay, well, you still owe the full amount. Like, I'm not going to do that because I think really how you treat your clients and how employers are treating their employees during this difficult time speaks volumes. I'm not the type to be like, well, it's technically within the 2 weeks before your wedding, and so you owe the final balance. I would never do that. I think that's really tacky during this time. So, because it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. Yeah. We're all just trying to figure it out and cruise along. So, yeah. I mean, on a personal note, that's what's happening with my business. I'm very lucky that I've been financially savvy, building up to this, both personally and professionally, so that we do have funds to fall back on if we need to. I'm just honestly hoping it doesn't come to that, at least to the extent of using it all, on both ends. So that's kind of my personal bit right there.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy. It's wild. Like I was just saying, like there's a town that's close to us, and like normally this town is packed, like in the downtown area, and you drive through there now, and it's like you would think it's like a holiday where like people are at home, and you know it's whatever. It's dead. And it's sad to see because it's like you don't know what's gonna happen when these businesses, depending on like their overhead, if they're gonna come back. And I'm like watching on the news of like some people that can't afford this because they have employees they have to pay and like this and that, and like it's just damn. And again, I really don't like to get political on this. Try not to, but I'm gonna touch on it. The whole like stimulus that's supposedly gonna be proposed and you know maybe passed through come Monday, the day before recording this, it's not gonna help small businesses, and like nothing's really in the talks of like helping. It's like you're getting, you know, each person may get 1,000, and you know if you have kids, you may get 500 and all that stuff, and that's cool. Not saying it's not cool and stuff, but like what happens to these businesses, which in America we have a ton of, and like just like you know major corporations like Target, Walmart, you know Costco, all those places that we have that that are making a killing, and other things that aren't, like the airlines. It's like they can whether through this they can make it like Tesla just put out like a notice saying, you know, we have $2 billion here, we just raised capital, you know, a few months ago we have $4 billion here. Like these companies have money set to like make it through the quarters, where it's like these businesses, depending on the person running it, of course, may not have that money, or if they do, they only have money to like last maybe a few weeks to a month or something.
Well, and I think that's the thing too, is it's very frustrating for us to look at airlines and things like that, and they're getting help, and we're just like, really? Like every business started out as a small business. Everyone started out, you know, in their garage, in their backyard, and their whatever they were doing, and they built and they worked their way up. And it's just really frustrating that all these big establishments are getting help, and we're just we are at the point where like right now I'm closed for 2 weeks, and even that makes my stomach sick. But if it goes into a month or 2 months or something like that, I mean, yeah, that's crazy worrisome. I mean, that's even a couple weeks really hurts us. But I mean, if you're talking months, there are absolutely businesses that will not come back from this. And it's very scary to see, especially because I have so many people that I'm friends with that have businesses. I just know a lot of people in small business of all different types. And like you want to talk about restaurants, for example, the fact that they're all closed down right now, that's really scary because you got food that's going bad. You got utilities and rent you still have to pay, all this stuff. You got like just everything, whether it's a service, a product, it's scary right now. And it is, we are people who have worked on these things, blood, sweat, and tears for years to get to the place we got to. For what now? For this to be what takes us out after a month or two? That's painful.
Man, it hurt me a little bit when we brought our dog to the groomers the other day, and she was trying to hold back tears. I'm like, ugh. Yeah.
So what we did is, yesterday we brought our dog to the groomer. It was the last day she was open because all, as of the day before this podcast comes out, all non-essential businesses are closed within our state. And we just had the appointment anyway, and she was handling everything appropriately. Like we literally had to hand our dog out the car window to the groomer. We paid outside via the car. She was standing away from the car. Like it was like, I mean, it's a weird world we're in right now, first of all. But yeah, because I asked her, I'm like, how are you doing? And yeah, she's like all all choked up, and I get it. I've cried a few times over this too. I think every person in small business has, just because, again,
your baby.
It is. It absolutely is. And I've always said that, because even when it came to like hiring people, I've always said, like, this is my baby. Like, I need the right people, and I don't want people to destroy my baby, you know? And so, like, for it to be something like this that takes us down is so devastating, because it was truly out of our control, and it's like wiping out so many of us at once. It's like I just don't understand. And so we're all we're hurting here, because whatever business you own, it's like, that's your pride and joy. That's your passion. That's what you've worked so hard for. I mean, all the sacrifice we've all made throughout the years, whether it's family time or sleep or any of it. And it's like, now you just think of the worst, and you're like, for what? You know, I can't even imagine people with kids and stuff, if they're like, I missed out on all their younger years and now it'll be for nothing. Now I won't have a legacy to give them. Like, there's just, it's crazy when you think of it.
Yeah. I have one thing to add to that. When you mentioned big companies, it was interesting. So Boeing, airlines are saying, hey, we need help us. We're going to go bankrupt, all that stuff. And, like, one of the Boeing cheer members, I feel like her name is Nicole something. And, like, Boeing was asking for, like, help. And she stepped out of the board, because it's, like, it's ridiculous. Like, Boeing's had an issue for the past year of trying to get their planes up. And, like, here comes this, like, great opportunity for them to, like, get funding from the government. And it's like, get out of here.
Mm-hmm. That's slimy.
I want to also add to, like, the business people that work at, like, corporate America. Yo, I hate seeing this. Stop cashing out your 401k. That makes no sense at all. Like, if we're Missy, relax.
Oh, it's a package that's coming.
Oh, well, she's
don't mind her.
She's protecting the house, even though you guys.
She doesn't know who's at the front door.
Goddamn, lost my train of thought.
Cashing out 401ks.
Yeah, and it's like, God forbid, that I was to, like, lose my job. Thankfully, I have the option of working from home. Yeah. But it's like, dog, if we were struggling, I'm not cashing out help my 401k. Like, it makes no sense. First off, you're already taking a loss, because you're realizing right now the money is unrealized. You're realizing when you sell that this is your. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm getting a bit too technical. Yeah. But unrealized is when it's like, it's there, it's fluctuating with the market. Realized is when you sell, because it's real.
Okay.
But yeah.
Tangible.
Yeah. And it's like, it's stupid. You're already taking it at a loss. And, like, a part of me goes back to my mind, like, a few weeks ago when the market was, like, killing at all-time highs. I'm like, shoot, I should have sold everything. I was up a however much in my gains, just so I can buy back in at this low point. But at the same time, I would get hit with the taxes of paying state.
Oh, true.
I believe at the end of the year, which, I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, but it's people are making, like, short-term decisions in this, and I'm going to talk about it from the stock front of it. It's like, dog, you shouldn't invest money that you need to take out in a situation like this.
Well, right, yeah. So, like, I know you've talked about how you've put into the stock market, but it's not from our budget. It's not from our savings. Like, he's just been putting his own money that he puts aside each month, like, into the stock. So, like, it's one of those that he's willing to, like, ride it out long term.
Well, even if so, like, if we were to do this, like, let's say, for example, down the road when we get the house and we get everything, we're situated and stuff, and we're putting money in to, like, your Roth IRA, and I'm putting money into my 401k. We're not gonna be like, oh man, here comes another pandemic, 10 years later or something like that, and we're like, shoot, you gotta sell what's in your Roth IRA. I gotta sell it to my 401k.
Well, yeah, I think that's the last.
That's like
step.
If we have to, like, really pay your
like,
bills
if you
type
can't
thing.
Eat. Yeah, like, I feel like that's.
But people aren't really in that issue. People are just like, oh man, my money's going down. And I get it. If you're like, you're gonna hit retirement soon, stuff like that.
Some people may be in it. Remember that, like, what is it? 77% of America is paycheck to paycheck. So some people may be in that area very quickly.
But my next issue is,
because what if you don't have a paycheck anymore?
my next thing is with that, I just feel like we weren't told growing up how to budget. And that's a whole different topic. I know we've talked about that in the past.
Yeah.
Like, for example, to get into it a little bit, like we use You Need a Budget, YNAB. And like I think we've been using it for like 2-3 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And like we have everything organized. Like it's no worry. Like, yeah, this month has been a bit hectic with food and we like gone over a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But like normally we're on point with it. It's on track. And it's like I don't think people organize things. And like when I go over to my mom's house, like I'm kind of curious and like I want to talk to them about this, see like what situation they're in financially. Because it's like, damn, like what do you do in this situation if like the main person that's making money can't work because, you know, if they're not essential or deemed essential, what do you do in that situation? Because they're not set up like this. And I'm not sure about your family situation, but it's like, that's like my worry. It's like, hello. I hope it wakes up people that like, you should have a savings, emergency savings for the situation.
I think everybody knows they should. I think it's a matter of some people don't know how. Because again, if you're paycheck to paycheck,
there's a way to make it happen.
It's a struggle. There is, but it's a struggle if you don't know where to go.
We waste a lot of our money on pointless things.
Huh?
We waste a lot of our money on pointless
things. Absolutely. Because, like, obviously at this point in time, with this happening, you shouldn't be saving for a vacation. You shouldn't be paying for, like, a Louis Vuitton. Like, I don't know. You shouldn't be, stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's just a lot of things. It's just... It hurts. Like at this point, I feel like I'm numb to it, and like I'm still watching videos on YouTube of like the news and stuff like that, and still watching like the governor of New York, since it's so close to home, and like what he does. Normally, Connecticut follows along, and just seeing like what's happening, and I'm just like, when is this over? Like it's cool to stay home and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's like I just want life to get back to normal.
Yeah, and. What's crazy is I saw how one wedding venue, I think they're technically in Massachusetts, they sorry guys, whew, I got hit with a yawn. No, one wedding venue in Massachusetts is not reopening, period. And I thought that was crazy because now whatever brides were booked there this year, like at all of them have to now completely find another venue, which is so stressful. But to me, I mean, that just means they were probably on their way out anyway. They probably were already super struggling. But it's just, that's crazy to see already, is that people are declaring that they're done. Yeah, and I totally agree with what you're saying about numbness. I think I've gotten to that point.
Yeah.
Earlier this week and last week, I was like, my anxiety was at an all-time high, and I was giving myself migraines basically daily, and I couldn't take it. Like every day, it just, because I think that was the time when everything came crashing down. Everything was like I said, every day it was just like more like the symbolism. Think of like you're standing in this, like in a shower, and like just the water keeps getting wider around you, and that's just more of the stuff that keeps happening, and you're just like standing here like soaked and drenched, and like you're like, well, I don't know what to do. Like I'm just stuck here. Like you can't get out. You're in this for however long. You don't know how long it's going to be. And like, so for a while I was in a really bad place, and I mean, my anxiety was probably worse than when I ever got diagnosed with anxiety. Like literally, it was bad for a few days. And then now, yeah, like with you, I think I've gotten to the point, I think part of it is numbness. I think part of it is trying to be more optimistic. Because I find when I'm in a more positive mindset that, I'm not as physically sick, like with migraines, or I'm not, I don't know, as doom and gloom and all that stuff. And I know it's so much easier said than done, But I think I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I have to believe that this is going to turn around. I have to believe that what I've done is not for nothing, and that I'm still going to do those things I was going to do this year, and that it's still going to be amazing, because there's still so much set up this year as far as wedding bookings and like all that stuff that very well may happen. It should happen. And, you know, fingers crossed, but it's just this big what if, this big question mark. And we're all just taking it day by day.
Yeah. I don't know. Fingers crossed. And, you know, I hope anyone that's down, because I know, you know, with a lot of restaurants that can't do takeout, a lot of businesses that can't do anything. I hope everyone, like, makes it through. It's a tough situation. And at the end of this, I hope that we come out with, like, better planning for whenever like these random events happen, because you should always have a savings fund. You should always have like some type of security in these random like encounters. Just had to talk about that because I was just like, damn. How can you, like, at this point, we tried to avoid the corona. It's here. Like, I don't even know how we're going to be recording these episodes. We're trying to best to stay off the corona train.
Yeah, we're trying not to make it so every week we're talking about it and we're just like the same as every other news station and everything.
And probably every podcast. But
yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to separate that. But I just had to talk about that because it's impacting a lot of small businesses. And you don't really realize that until this event happens. That, like, yeah, there's a lot of small businesses in your area. Yeah, there's a lot.
I think I saw a statistic that it was something like small businesses employ like 49% of people in America.
I believe it.
And I'm like, that speaks volumes. That's almost half. That's half of the freaking country. Mm-hmm. That's how many small businesses there are. There's absolutely more small businesses than there are big businesses. Mm-hmm. Think about that. But who's getting the help?
Yeah.
Exactly. And also remember, these small businesses, we don't even need as much help as these big businesses. So it doesn't make sense. You could more evenly disperse it among us small people versus give it all to one big business.
Yeah.
So I'll get off my high horse.
So I want to talk about something that you've been addicted to for the past probably close to a year now at this point. Let's be real. And now you've even started creating content on it.
Yay!
That's not a yay. That's annoying. Yay!
No, it's not. It's fun.
So every now and then, every day, you're like, you want to see this TikTok I made?
Yeah. Be proud. Be proud of me.
Guys. We're talking about TikTok. So
be the proud hubby.
An article came out. This is from Complex. About TikTok moderators were reportedly told to censor posts from poor and ugly users.
Doesn't surprise me.
And I thought when I saw this, I'm like, that has to be true, because when TikTok first like was a thing, I think I joined on it like sometime last year, but like mid last year, and all I saw was a bunch of white kids. I'm like, I can't relate to this. Goodbye, and I stopped.
I think, to be quite honest, they've gotten better with the race issue. But I will say a big issue has been overweight people.
Well, we're going to get into that then.
Yes, because even Lizzo, I think, shouted them out. And, like, basically it's saying how, oh, no, I saw a good one. There was one girl who was skinny and one girl who was, like, slightly overweight. She wasn't even, like, that big. And, they were both in the video. They had the same exact outfits, the same bikinis, the same whatever it was, and they would like model back and forth a few different outfits or whatever. And they were proving a point that video would not get the same kind of reach as the one with just her in it, the skinny one. And it's true. It's like, literally, I'll come across these videos and they'll be like, why did you take this video down, TikTok? Or why did you do, like, it's obnoxious, and you can't tell me it's not happening, because I would totally believe that somebody who's confident in their own skin, but they happen to be overweight and they're in a bikini, they're going to get more flack than the skinny person in a bikini.
Yeah. So an internal document, supposedly from TikTok, was leaked. And essentially the company is saying suppress videos from ugly, disabled, overweight, and poor people.
Disabled. That's wow.
For the
that's
express
really
purpose of retaining new users and growing the app. So here goes, like, for example,
poor people. Wow.
It shows-
oh my god, this is all just awful.
it shows one column says new rules and one says abnormal body shape, chubby, has obvious bare belly, obese, or too thin, not limited to dwarf or acromegalia. I don't know what that condition is. It sounds familiar. What?
I don't know where this is.
I mean, it's right there. And then below that, they also have a column saying ugly facial looks, not limited to formatted face, fangs,
Oh my God.
lack of front teeth, senior people with too many wrinkles. Oh, God.
Oh my god.
Obvious facial scars or facial deformities, not limited to eye disorders, crooked mouth disease, or other disabilities.
Wow.
And they put as their reason, unlike diversified videos of which the content itself is the mainly focused, it's non-diversified content. The character himself or herself is basically the only focus of the video. Therefore, if the character's appearance or the shooting environment is not good, the video will be much less attractive, not worthy to be recommended to new users. And yeah, they also go with like the shooting environment.
Man, that makes me wonder about like me, because I feel like I'm somewhere in the middle. My TikToks are doing not terrible. They'll get like mid 100, mid 200 kind of views on like average. But they're also not like viral. So I'm like, am I like somewhere in the middle deemed in their eyes? Like,
but they also say the shooting environment, like it can't be shabby or dilapidated. You can't be in the slums, rural areas.
I mean, that one doesn't really surprise me. I feel like that's everywhere.
Dilapidated
Doesn't
housing, construction sites, internal housing.
What if you work at a
backgrounds.
construction site and that's your whole niche? Is you want to like make funny videos at it or something?
I mean,
Come
they don't
on,
want that.
I've seen that.
They say this kind of environment is not suitable for new users for being less fancy and
Less fancy. Wow. Oh, I'm sorry.
they don't want any slideshow videos because that's not what the app is for.
That's some BS. I've seen plenty of slideshow videos.
Like pictures. Type
Yeah.
Of thing. Yeah, they don't want that.
I've seen plenty of
And I
them.
feel like this was probably in the past because I feel like I've seen, well, you'd be able to speak to this more, but I've seen more, all types of people on TikTok over the last maybe 6 months
Yeah.
or so. So it's like maybe they had to loosen up. But in the beginning stages, like, yeah, I swear, that's what the reason I'm
Yeah.
turned off from it. And like, I don't mess with TikTok.
And also, not for nothing, when you first get a TikTok account, because TikTok, whatever's on your For You page is based on what you like, what you interact with, So like me, over time, I interact with more dog videos, so more dog videos are going to be on mine or things like that. But when you first sign on to TikTok, yeah, your For You page, if you first scroll for a little while, you're like, like some of this is dry, some of this is all white, some of this is all, is the attractive people probably in their eyes. So like it's kind of, they push that on you at first, and then then the algorithm shows you what you actually interact with more.
Yeah.
So you have to like dig to find these people.
And that's one of the
what's
reasons
sad.
why I don't mess with TikTok. Like,
Well, that's unfortunate. I didn't know that. I didn't know all that. That's like,
it's also in my mind, it's like, you're really like closing it off to a lot of groups of people, and it's like,
yeah.
so what do you, dog? It bugs me because you're really just like, no, you gotta be a young, attractive person. And in my experience, when I go to TikTok, it's normally just some white girl or some white guy, and
Also,
they're doing some video.
The whole
and all
young
that.
thing is stupid because let me tell you, some of these videos I've found, of like these, say they're like dads or grandpas or something like that, and the person will like be recording them as they react to something they're doing, and they don't know they're being recorded, and it'll be like this, I don't know, this like cute reaction that like they didn't expect coming or something. And it's like, those are some of the most wholesome, adorable videos ever. And honestly, those are some of the best videos on the app. Like, they do well. They get like 3 million views or whatever. Like, so screw these people that are like, oh, they have too many wrinkles. Some, like, people love when the older people are on TikTok because they usually do like the most innocent, cute stuff. No. They're trying to do these dances and it's hilarious.
So, here goes something that I saw. The one I showed you where it was like this dad. No, maybe it was a grandpa. Where he's like, he did like a dance, and he's like, now it's time for my wife. And he threw like ashes or what you thought were her ashes. And I'm like, that's just
okay,
horrible.
that one's messed up.
And I saw another one that was funny.
Okay, that's not what I'm talking about.
Here's another one that I'm talking about because it's funny.
Oh, God.
This girl was like, she propped the camera down, and she was like, I'm going to scare my boyfriend. And she got behind like a curtain that's right by the door. And she just sitting there, like behind the curtain. And then she comes back to the camera. She's like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend. Like, let's go.
That's a good one.
Because you're just waiting, and like it looks like she's in a dorm, so like people were passing like behind the little slits of glass.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's funny.
I've been enjoying TikTok. I think in the time that we're in right now, it's been a welcome distraction for me. It's fun and it's innocent and like just doing these silly like voiceovers. Like, I try to keep mine more on the beauty related kind of side because I have it for my beauty business, but then I'll do like some trendy like funny ones every now and then, or like a coronavirus one that's funny. What?
You going all out? I see you.
Yeah, and I have a lot of fun with it, and I'll make a few at once, so I have them in my draft folder, and I try to post like once a day or so that it's like more consistent, and like I'm really liking it. It's the one app or the one social media that I don't feel stressed on. I feel like I can just do it for fun and it's great versus, when it comes to my business, all the other social medias, I have to have some strategy and I have to be like, religious about this and I have to post at this time and I have to like, it's a whole thing versus TikTok. I'm just like, yeah, I'm just doing this for fun. And I'm like, I'm riding it out. And like, so that's really unfortunate. Because that's annoying.
I mean, you knew it. You just, come on now.
I didn't know it to that extent. I didn't know the details that they like listed out like that because that's really rude.
It is pretty obvious.
But
like, you saw it. Yeah, they didn't say it, of course, because they would kill their business.
Right.
But you kind of assumed.
But yeah, anyways, if you want to see my TikTok videos, because they're fun, it's at LA Page Makeup. So LAPAGE Makeup. That's me. They're fun. I try to post consistently, and
yeah, she does some interesting videos. I'll say the least.
They're fun. I love the voiceover ones. They're some of the hardest ones to do, but they're like the most rewarding. It's fun.
That's great. So, I'm glad you have the time to do that.
But I will. I mean, we all got a little more time now. I think. Let's be real. Like, you don't have a commute anymore. Like,
what are you talking about?
We all got
working.
A little. Yeah.
Working on Animal Crossing.
Oh, I was going to mention it at the end of this podcast, but listen, guys, it's day 3 since Animal Crossing came out. I haven't been on at all today because we had to do the podcast with Angelica and then we're doing this podcast. So right after this podcast, I'm going to go run to my Switch. I'm very excited. Anyways, side note. But I will say with the TikTok algorithm, it's weird because I've been watching this one TikTok I did like several days ago. And I don't know if this is what you would call blowing up. It's probably not. It's like a small blow up. But again, mine usually get like 100 or 200 views. And right now I'm over 1,000. And it's been climbing ever since like Friday night. Today's Sunday morning. Like every few hours, it'll get like 100 more views. And it keeps like going and going. And it's weird because with TikTok, and I've noticed this even with videos in my feed, it's not based on when you post them. It's based on what comes up in the person's feed based on what they watch. Mm-hmm. So it's like, yeah, a video from that I made 2 months ago could start like climbing like crazy out of nowhere. It's really weird, versus, with YouTube and all that, it's based on your latest video and that's going to get the most views until you post another. So it's an odd algorithm.
TikTok takes the Instagram thing of like not having things in chronological order to higher extent, I guess you could say.
It's weird
because it's like, okay, instead of showing you like Instagram's normally going to show you something, it's going to show you something of recent, but it's like TikTok's like, no, we're going to show you something from like a month ago or maybe 2 months ago. Here you go.
The thing that stinks with it is if you're an average TikTok user, because I notice I do the same thing, you'll watch a video that is blowing up and you'll love it and you'll be like, hey, this is great. You'll maybe give it a like, maybe a comment, maybe you'll favorite the video, but then you keep scrolling. The thing is, it's difficult, I feel like, to get the people to then go to your profile, watch the other videos, and to follow you.
I don't know about that one.
Well, because
for me, when I find a video like the Elmo guy and stuff like that, like,
well, yes, select people, but I feel like as a whole, most people they just stay on their For You page and they keep scrolling and they keep like going. And it's difficult because, yeah, I have this one video that's like semi blowing up, but then it's really not affecting the rest of my videos right now.
Yeah.
So it's weird. Yeah. Like, I don't understand it. But anyways, like I said, I'm trying to just be lighthearted about it and I'm trying to just have fun with it. So, yeah.
Yeah. Just rocking and rolling. All right, guys. Like I said, it's been a light news a couple weeks. I was going to be honest with you guys. So we're trying to be, I'm sure other podcasts are taking a hiatus right now for however long this is probably going to be going on for.
Really? People are taking hiatus right now?
And people are chilling. They don't. You can't do anything.
Oh.
Like, content is slow for no matter what. If you're a movie reviewer, you're gonna have to review old movies because movies aren't coming out.
That's right.
If you talk about rap, not much is happening with rap. So it's like everything in the world is at a standstill because everyone's stuck in their house.
Yep.
So it's tough. Yep. So shout out to all the podcasters. If you are a podcaster and you're still creating content during this time, if you are slacking, you should get back on it. I don't know what you're doing. With that being said, we're gonna end this bad boy out with some relationship advice, and this is a juicy one because I'm with this brother,
Juicy Smollett.
We're not talking about him ever again. He's banned from the podcast. Thank you. So this guy goes on to say, my girlfriend, who is 22 and he's 23, openly uses the N-word and it's starting to bug me. I don't blame you. So me and my girlfriend have been together for 6 months now. The relationship got serious pretty quickly, and I excused some things I probably shouldn't have. She used it openly from the start, but I just ignored it at the beginning. One time I went to the grocery store with her, and the cashier was at the register was black. He was moving pretty slowly, but she didn't say anything at the time. When we were loading the car, she says that N-word with the R at the end. Wow.
Wait, whoa! It's the legitimate N-word, not even
that's what he
abbreviated.
Wrote.
Oh my God!
I'm assuming this guy's black. He's probably not. Who knows?
Well, I was just gonna say, I hope it says somewhere in here what they are.
She's probably white. Let's be real.
But we're just assuming he's black. That's the problem.
That's what I'm saying.
What if she's just crazy and they're both white and she still says it?
But that's what I'm saying. The guy could be any race, but I'm assuming this girl is probably white. Let's be real.
Well, yeah, probably. Anyways.
And she says this NIGGER was moving so effing slow. I'm trying to keep it PG, but it's hard to do in this topic. And it irked me, but I didn't say anything at the time. Moments like that have happened throughout our 6 months together. One time, I was visibly annoyed when she said it, and she asked why I was offended since I'm white. Confirmation, he's white.
Oh, this is awkward.
We got into a fight when I replied, because I'm not a racist. Do you want to say that word for me?
BITCH.
Oh, I want you to say it with some emphasis. But
I didn't want to. I didn't want to.
She claims to not be racist, but we both know that isn't true. I do love her.
Why?
But I don't know where to go from here. What should I do to sort this thing out?
Someone comments, do you want to date a racist bitch?
Because this is how you end up eating a racist bitch.
Oh my God.
And someone's like unexpected cannibalism.
Okay, first of all, wow, it's only been 6 months and all this has happened. That's.
I'm dropping it. If she's openly saying that, imagine what her friends are like.
Dude, it's only been 6 months. Get out while you can. You know what I'm saying? Okay, also.
She's 22.
See, this is what I was expecting. I was expecting the loophole of he's going to be white too. Because here's the thing. If she was dating a black man, I feel like he would have dropped her like hot potato.
Yeah, true.
especially not for nothing, it's not the A, it's the ER. Like, I feel like that, that just takes it up a notch, you know? So, like, wow, the fact that he's white. So, it's interesting because you know that this is who she is as a person because she's like, oh, you're white too. Why is it a problem?
Exactly.
Like, haha, this is just what I say. This is just my dialogue. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right?
See, I have two. I'm conflicted.
She really has the nerve to say she's not racist.
I'm conflicted. I have two things with this.
Okay.
One, I'm like, yeah, the guy should leave. Obviously, it's the obvious one. But a part of me's like, no, you should probably stay a little bit.
Oh, God.
And here's why I say that.
Oh, God.
Here's why I say.
Uh-oh.
I say she
You got
should
a
stay.
skeevy plan.
She should stay, or he should say, not she. Because hopefully, depending on how she is, you should be able to hopefully change that behavior of her saying it and tell her, like, and kind of guide her into why it's wrong. Of course, you handle it bit by bit. You don't just like full on push someone into, changing their negative habit. Because most likely she has friends and family members that think the same way. So if you could change one, it's like the coronavirus.
Oh,
if
God. What? We're comparing racism to the coronavirus.
But I'm saying like not in the not in the sense of like
how it spreads.
I mean, yeah, but in the sense of like if he could change her from saying that word, she can be like, no, you shouldn't say that. That's wrong to say to like her friends, to her family. I'd at least attempt that. I would try. You've been with her for 6 months. Stay another 6 months. See where it goes. Like
You funny.
Show her like movies like The Green Book or
I can show you the.
Or there's like a new Netflix movie with Madam C.J. Walker, I believe, that I want to see that looks super dope. Not a Netflix movie, a Netflix series.
Oh yeah.
That I want to see that looks cool. Like show her like certain things like that.
I don't know. I think you have a lot of faith. I don't know about this one because it's like you just said too. If she has a lot of friends and family that think the same way and say the same things, that makes it harder because how can you change? Like, even if you change her, when she's around them, that might come out again. You know what I mean? Like it's like how you act differently with different people.
Yeah, but I'm trying to.
So what? You want to make it so she doesn't say it around him, but she really is still that way? That's the problem.
There's a way to change it. Because my issue is, if he leaves, she's just going to find someone else that may enable that behavior. She, like, again,
well, yeah, absolutely.
It's like the coronavirus. She's going to get someone else
I'm sure she will, but also it's like, why does he have to stay for that? You know what I mean? Like, why does he have to? Because him staying is like a form of accepting it, though.
No, I'm not saying accept it. I'm saying slowly move to converting her. Just like I converted you to being a Tesla lover as soon as we have the paycheck to go drop it off at Tesla.
What did you do?
Exactly.
What?
You want a Tesla. You know you do.
When did you do that?
You want a Tesla. Safest car in the world.
Excuse me?
Safest car in the world.
Okay.
Yeah, you want to have safe children in a safe car, right?
Safe children.
In a safe car. Right? Exactly. That's why you want to Tesla. See, exactly. You gotta keep drilling them.
Oh my God! Stop it!
You just gotta keep drilling it.
This is totally a different topic. Oh my God!
So I feel like
we're comparing racism to Tesla. What?
I feel like he can spread his wisdom like the coronavirus.
Oh my God! I understand what you're saying. I just don't have much faith, I guess, in that. I feel like this is one of those things that's ingrained from when you're young. And also, it's going to take longer than 6 months to untrain that.
I mean, again, you play it by ear. If you're a good person that knows how to feel people out,
I think the bigger issue, like I said, is if she still has these family and friends in her life.
But that's why you educate someone. The reason someone's saying that is there's a reason. Like, I would dig deep as to like, hey, why do you say that? Like, why do you feel so comfortable with it? Like, ask these like little questions, like bit by bit, and gain an understanding from that person.
That'll be weird. Because can you imagine the answer that comes out of her mouth? She's going to be like, because, like, that's what they are. Like, that's, like, what are you talking about? Like, they're less than us. They're lower. Like, obviously. Can you imagine?
If I was that guy and she said that, I'm like, well, I guess I'm out of this.
But that's what I'm saying. She's obviously going to have some justification as to why she's saying that.
But it's like...
Because you don't use that word... unless you do think less than, you know what I mean? Like, it's such a derogatory word that it means you're less than. Like, it means you're gross or it means you're whatever.
Yeah, but
a bad connotation.
There's a way that you can, like, change someone. I don't really believe that. Because, like, for example, not that like I'm sure you had like some preconceived thoughts of like black people before we started dating because you went to like a majority white high school and probably
Yeah, but not like that.
like middle. I mean, obviously, but your middle schools and stuff like that were majority white. So here you go, in your 20s dating a black guy, and you're learning these different things. Okay, like it changes your viewpoint. So I feel like this guy, even though he's white, he could still change her viewpoint on it.
Yeah, but it's tough because that's such an aggressive viewpoint. It's two polar opposites versus you're saying I came with my preconceived notions, but that they were somewhere in the middle. I wasn't like all the way on this end and he's all the way on that end. That's a tough one. I think you have a lot of faith. I don't know about that one right there.
I think it's possible.
Ugh. That's a tough one.
This guy has not commented, so I assume that
they never do. They never come back to their posts.
I assume that he has either died or she has killed him because he is an N-word lover. That's from Dave Chappelle. You would not get that.
Okay.
She's like, I do not want to comment on this at all.
I'm right. I'm like, well, he said it. Let the record show.
Oh man. Yeah.
Wow. I wasn't when you told me that was the topic for today. I wasn't expecting it to be a hard ER. I thought it was just going to be like the whole like joking around and like with your friends of the.
There was no jokes. Dog, there's no joking when you're saying that word. God. Like not even my friends I play Xbox with or I'm cool with like have said that. Like even the one with A, like nah, we don't play that.
Right. But dang, that's just
like there has to be some type of respect. Like even if you're not the, like I'm not even sure how it would be because I'm not white. If I had a bunch of like white guys, because I'm not sure if white girls probably say this shit.
What? Why? What?
I'm sure you white girls probably get together and hop in your car and play Gold Digger. I ain't saying he a broke. But
I mean, I'll play it, but I don't say it.
You play the edited version, right?
No.
Lord Jesus help me.
I play what's ever on Spotify, and it's not always the edited version, okay?
Lord Jesus help me. That's one of the songs I hate. I hate from Kanye. I hate that one so bad because he says it so often, and it was a popular song.
I know.
Ah!
I know. And that's the thing that, like, from, the mid-2000s, the girls with the skinny jeans and Ugg boots and flat-ironed hair and blue eyeshadow would always, sing at, like, middle school dances.
Yo, bro. What? Do you just like what? You just created this as your starter pack for the mid 2000s.
Pretty much.
Skinny blue jeans.
No, like the little white girls from middle school or whatever.
Fat Farm or Baby Fat. Whatever.
Baby Fat, dude. That was my first like real winter jacket. Legit.
I'm sure.
And I didn't even try to get it because it was Baby Fat. I got it because it was like the one that fit right, and it was like warm as hell. Oh, so I didn't realize that I was like. I don't know.
Do you want some pumpkin spice with that?
Oh, God, I hate pumpkin spice. No, that's not my thing.
You know why I said that, right?
Yes, I do know why you said that, sir.
Okay.
We don't have to go there, okay?
I just want to make sure.
Because if you go and say pumpkin spice to me, you don't want me to say stuff to you.
What are you going to say to me? Enlighten the listeners.
Nope.
That I'm a nice person?
Totally.
Exactly.
What about me? I'm a nice person who doesn't like pumpkin spice.
But you like Ugg boots in the wintertime.
Actually, I never owned actual Uggs.
Just knockoffs because I couldn't afford the actual Uggs.
Well, you know what? Wow. Okay. We want to talk about social status and income level too?
I mean, I'm just saying random things. Like,
Wow. We're going to end this before it gets too aggressive.
I mean, it already got aggressive. Mm-hmm. I'm probably going to end this so you can go play your Animal Crossing and cool it down a little bit. Look,
so
all you have to say is Animal Crossing. She's like, oh my God. She forgot all about that hate she was giving.
No, literally, like, who else is, like, addicted to Animal Crossing right now? New Horizons came out, and it's amazing. The graphics are amazing. Like, all of it. It's just amazing.
Yeah. If you guys want to add us, hit us up on Instagram or something. We'll send us.
Oh, my God, we could be friends.
We were hanging out at one of my friends' places the other day, and it was just a chill spot. And it was like cool. He had a lot of setup, like places to sit.
We were just napping on hammocks in the sunset. It was so romantic.
Yeah, totally. It was like a date, but since we can't leave our house, we gotta go somewhere.
Gotta have a virtual date. There you go.
Oh my God. All right, I think it's time to wrap this bad boy up. We did all we could, guys. We appreciate your support. Thank you for listening during these trying times. I hope everyone makes it through. Hope everyone's taking the measures that they need to stay well, stay healthy, stay away from anyone.
Flatten the curve. Stop being dumb. Stay home so this gets over sooner so that small businesses can go back to work. Thanks for listening to my PSA.
Stay away from anyone with the Rona. You know?
Yes, but because it's spreadable before you know you have the Rona, that's why we have to do social distancing and quarantine. So please just be smart and help us because we just want to go back to work, okay? Thanks,
Stay
bye.
away from the Rona. All right, guys. With that being said, we will see you on the next episode, but I forgot to do the outro, so give me a quick second. So if you're making it to the end of this, you realize my screw up. And I'm Chanel, co-host of Paging the Simpsons. I'm joined by my lovely wife,
Lauren, who just wants to go back to work.
And we will see you guys next Tuesday, but we're going to go play Animal Crossing.
Yay! Okay, bye.
Peace out.